Hi, this is my new podcast. I'm freaking out, but I'm so excited. Welcome to Lala Land. I'm your host, Lex, and this podcast is me finally giving myself permission to say all of the things I've always wanted to say. I hope by listening that you feel empowered to just be you and do what you want. Sit back, relax, you're in Lala Land. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to La La Land. I'm Lex, and I'm just so freaking glad you're here. Where to even start, you guys? Oh my gosh. I feel like the last 24 hours has been like a whirlwind, and I don't mean to sound dramatic. Actually, the last 48 hours. I really don't mean to sound dramatic because after listening back to my other two episodes, I realized how dramatic I sound. And I am, and I know I am. My husband would tell you I'm ultra dramatic, but it's really been a crazy couple days. So as you guys could probably tell, and I think I mentioned it a little bit, but those episodes, the two episodes that dropped on Monday, which was our launch day, they were pre-recorded about 10 days earlier between recording them and then the podcast launching and me hearing them for the first time. I feel like kind of a lot had gone down. And I honestly, something crazy is happening right now in my life. I am telling you, people and things and just the craziest shiz has been happening. People I haven't heard from forever, reaching out and just all these crazy things, a lot of things that have to do with everything I talked about in episode 1, just people pleasing and all these things. And in the last week, I was tagged in a Facebook rant. Just all these things have happened. Someone from my past popped up and was talking about me and saying things, and I found out about it. And it's been cool because I've been able to deal with those and talk through it. And I feel both parties have grown and learned and evolved since these things had happened. And we were able to come to a cool understanding. And so it's all good. It's all water under the bridge. But what I'm saying is all of these things happened at once, right? And on Sunday, the night before the launch of the pod, I had heard about something that just kind of really threw me off. And I just wanted to cancel again. I was just so worried, you guys. And I had a pep talk with Matt, my husband, the night before. He was super sweet about it. And he's you don't say you launch and then you end up not liking it, or, it's not what you expected or whatever. And he's you can literally back out at any time. You don't have to do this. And I'm such a freak that I'm yes, I do. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. So, but that made me feel better. I'm that's true. This, it won't affect anything. Who even knows if anyone will listen? So I was just having a moment. I cried. And the reason I'm hesitating saying that is because I'm really sounding like I cry a lot, aren't I? But I promise I don't. Maybe a couple times a month. But if you do cry all the time, slay, live your life. When I do cry, maybe I need to cry even more, just little spurts here and there, because when I cry, bro, it's everything. Just I can't stop. I'm doing that whole trying to catch your breath and breathe thing. And it's something that happened 2 weeks ago that killed my vibe or whatever. I'm crying about that too. I'm crying about every little thing that's happened that's been building up in me for the last month or whatever. So anyways, that's kind of what happened. And I fell asleep and I woke up with puffy eyes. I didn't go to Pilates. I just was meh, whatever, just wasn't sure. But you guys blew my mind yesterday. I'm recording this on Tuesday. It's dropping on Wednesday, just for a little like behind the scenes vibes, so you understand. But yesterday was launch day, and you blew my minds. And like, I just literally can't say thank you enough. I'm shocked that anybody even cared to listen about what I had to say. Like, not that I don't think I have like important things to say, but it's just like, I don't know, I just wasn't sure. And like seeing everyone that showed up for me and who have like been so cool and sent me really sweet messages, and the reviews, you guys, were like so nice. I don't know why, but I seriously thought I was going to wake up to a bunch of rude reviews today. I'm just like, I don't know. And they're all nice. And I'm seriously so grateful. And it really makes me feel excited. Like, thank gosh we went through all that. Like, I went through all of the like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And like all of that. And it's over with, so that now we can just like party. Because now I just feel so validated and just like supported. And like the amount of people that kept saying like, I was sad it was over, or I can't wait for the next episode. Like, thank you so much. Cause that made me just like ready to like pop off. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. So thank you guys. Seriously. I did something on my stories on Dressed in Lala and my personal page saying like, if you leave a review, send me a screenshot, and I would be sending some of our new podcast merch out to like 15, 20 people. And so I was able to see, and it's like, I'll keep it going, you guys. Like, I have 600 of these pullovers. Well, I did. We sold some yesterday, which I was like so excited about. I'm so excited you guys like it. I'm not going to lie. It's literally so cute. The back of it, the "Let Me Live" with the huge exclamation point. I love it so much. But I'm still doing that. So if you do leave a review, if you haven't left a review yet, I'll just like keep it going. Let's give away like 10 more pullovers in the next couple days. So just go leave a review. I'm not really sure how Spotify works, because I don't think you can actually like write something. I think it's just like star based. Tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's because I'm not as like, what's the word? Like, Spotify is still like learning who we are. Like, maybe once at a certain point. I don't know. I don't listen on Spotify, but I know a lot of people do. But if you go on Spotify and leave 5 stars, just take a screenshot. But if you go on Apple Podcasts, which is where I listen, take a screenshot before you submit your review, and then press submit and send it to me. And I will be sending some of you guys sweatshirts. Actually, let's make it even more fun. If you do that and send a screenshot, next week's episode, I will read out 10 reviews and your like usernames. And if it's you, then we'll send you a sweatshirt. It'll be fun. Okay. So what was I even saying? Anyways, yeah, just like, so I was able to read a lot of reviews, and they were so nice, you guys, like literally so nice. So I was just going to read a couple of my favorite, just to like flex, not really, just to kind of like, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy you're loving it, and that you want to be here. And like, this is a whole nother little world we can hang out in, This one said, I've been obsessed with Lex's clothing brand, Lala, for over a year now, so when I heard she was launching a podcast, I was super excited. The content has been amazing. I love that there's a mix of topics: business, pop culture, being creative, and most importantly, being you and celebrating that. I've been feeling a bit lost and like there isn't much to look forward to, but this podcast is helping me smile and gives me something to look forward to. I can't wait for future episodes and to see or hear what Lex has planned. So that one I was just like, oh my gosh. Also, if this is your review, I promise it's winter. It's like killing all of us. Everyone I know is like just going through it, or they're like feeling super depressed. They're just, I'm included. Like, winter, we love you, but you have to go. You have to go. And actually, I don't love you. Some people might. I love you at Christmas. I love you for 5 days, and then I'm over it. But anyways, it's going to get better. I know once the sun comes out and we get some like vitamin D and just, no more snow and gray skies. We're going to be feeling so good. But I'm so happy you're here. And seriously, that review, that was so sweet. And it really, really means a lot to me. Okay, I'll just read 2 more. And actually, I didn't really choose these beforehand except for that one. So let's see what we have going on here. Okay, I'll just read this one. What we all needed and didn't know it. Bringing us all the good vibes and feel-good mentality with a badass woman behind the mic that I've looked up to for years. So nice. The thing is, too, a lot of people said this, that they've been following or whatever. And a lot of these are people that I've never exchanged conversations with. So I just want to say thank you. I have been through quite the roller coaster on social media, but let's just say I started out as a wannabe fashion blogger 8 or 9 years ago. And then went from that to corporate girly, and then went from that to Lala. So it's just been a lot. And then within that time, if you've really been following me for a while, you'll know that I went from blonde hair to pink hair to blue hair to brown hair to ombre to bangs to extensions to bob. You guys, I'm not joking when I say I change my hair 24/7, but I actually haven't changed it for a while. Well, I guess I just got extensions. When did I get extensions? I've had them for a couple months now, but I think the brown is here to stay for a while because literally this actually is a flex. My bangs, let me just show you if you're watching on YouTube. This is my bang. This is my real hair. It's, if you're not watching, it's literally to my chin. This is monumental. This is huge. This is groundbreaking. If you know me, you know that my hair's been fried since I was probably 14. I'm not joking, you guys. My mom does hair. She's done hair my whole life, and in my first grade picture, I think it's my first grade school picture, I have highlights. I have freaking chunky highlights. Okay. So anyways, I'm just saying the brown has been so good for my hair, unfortunately. Also, everyone's going brown right now. So it's good. We're all going to be in our healthy hair thriving era. But yeah, just thank you so much for that review. And it just means a lot that you've stuck around. I'll just read one more. This one says, awesome podcast. Okay, I love this podcast. The first episode is so good. It's so nice to hear someone I admire talk openly about stuff like not wanting to let people down by showing your true self and how intense vulnerability hangovers can be. I also love hearing the business side of things, like why prices have to be raised sometimes, because it helps me understand how difficult and expensive running a business can be. It's clear Lex cares so much about this community she has built, and I'm excited to hear more from her. Keep them coming, Lala forever. So nice. So anyways, you guys, there was so many, and it's just I can't thank you enough. It gives me the pep in my step. I'm feeling so good. Oh, also one more thing. I think 3 people told me that my voice is soothing, or that my voice is perfect for podcasting. And I'm not joking when I say that's the most shocking thing I've ever heard in my whole life. I always thought I was nasally or something. So anyways, I'm not trying to be weird, but that's easily the nicest compliment I've gotten since the podcast dropped. Just kidding. But kind of that's a cool compliment. So if you might not agree, but to those 3 people, mommy loves you. Okay. A little housekeeping. So we had 2 episodes drop on Monday. The first one, I was just talking about kind of the whole just people pleasing vibes and how I'm worried to be too much or too little or not enough, of whatever people have had that idea in their head of me. And it was a little more serious, and I kind of talked about the business behind the scenes of Lala and letting some of my customers getting upset about recent price increases. And anyways, it was more serious, right? But then the second episode was more pop culture and just life. And it seems like you guys liked the pop culture. They both had around the same amount, but the pop culture one had more listens, more downloads. So I'm extra happy because literally one of the main reasons I've wanted to start a pod is because I love pop culture so much. And I'm constantly consuming pop culture. Like, I have TMZ alerts. Like, I've always been into it too. And like, when you're little and someone asks you like what your hobbies are, and it's like reading about Hillary Duff and shopping at TJ Maxx with your mom, you don't feel very talented, okay? But now like we're turning it into something. So I am just so happy you guys are into it too, because I don't know, like I feel like something that happens, especially like in like business endeavors or like new journeys or whatever, when you go to like a business conference, you hear a lot. Like, what's your why? Like, why are you doing this? What's your purpose? Like, what's going to keep you going? When you come back to your core, like why, what's the root situation of why you're doing what you're doing? And it could, sometimes it's like someone cares a lot about mental health. And so like the main reason they're starting a business is to be able to like donate back into mental health and like make changes, or someone's purpose might be like their family. And I don't know, you know what I mean? Like these deep things, like I feel like I've always heard like pretty deep, profound, beautiful reasons of why people are doing things. And I'm sure like when it comes down to it, most of us are doing things for our family and to provide and give them a good life and things like that. But like beside that fact, like I think when it comes to pop culture and me like loving it and wanting to talk about it all the time, it just sometimes feels like, and then this podcast being like mostly pop culture, right? It just feels like, I don't know, like this isn't changing the world. Like this isn't like groundbreaking. This isn't monumental. Like it's just kind of like fluff and just for fun, And so I think it's just like makes me feel even more confident in doing it, I guess. Because actually when you like think about it, this stuff is important, and it might not be changing the world. Driving around in your car with your kids or to work or wherever you're going, commuting or whatever you do every day when you listen to a podcast, it's to be able to like add just like a little excitement, like that feeling when you're like excited to listen to something or watch a show you've been wanting to watch or have something to look forward to, even if it's literally just for fun, like it doesn't have a lot of meaning. I think that's like so important. So we might not be changing the world over here in La La Land, but I think going back to what I said before, like we're all taking life way too serious, and it's fun and it's fine. And if you're into it and it's like a hobby for you, like that's awesome, So I'm just so glad you guys are into it too. I also, this is like going to show you like how cheesy I am, but if you saw the thing I said about how like unicorns, like I said, I have a picture on my Instagram from a few years ago where I'm like stroking a horse's face and I'm like, horses are the closest things we have to unicorns. Like I'm a cheesy unicorn magic princess. And yesterday, first of all, it was sunny for the first time in a really long time. It felt so nice outside, which was really awesome. And then on top of that, as I was driving home, it started raining just a little bit, but like cute sprinkles, not like stressful sprinkles. And there was a rainbow. There was like the most stunning rainbow as I was driving home. And it just felt like, this is good. Like you're on the right path. Okay. Holy cow. Like I need to stop talking about this because I actually think I'm like making it sound creepier and weirder than it actually all is. But all of this to say, I'm just excited. I'm excited you're here and I'm excited you're listening. Last housekeeping thing that I've been needing to say also is I actually am shocked not more of you noticed this, or you just noticed it and you were being nice to me. But when I was talking about Haley and Selena and Justin, I kept saying that Haley had a seizure and she had a stroke, you guys. So if you were like screaming at me while I was saying that, like, no, she did not have a seizure. I'm so sorry. I know. And I wish I caught it as I kept saying it over and over. So yeah, Haley did have a stroke, and it's really scary, especially for like, she's really young. So anyways, I can't remember exactly what they found out it was related to, but I think she's okay. So I was thinking that we could just start the top of the episodes for now with a little like pop culture moment where we just kind of catch up on things that have happened since we last spoke and maybe things relating to what we talked about before and just catch up in that sense. So we obviously talked about Haley and Selena and Justin, like I just said. So a few days after I spoke about the whole situation, Justin Bieber. Okay, sorry, I was just pulling up his Instagram. So a few days after we spoke, it was his birthday. 3 days after we spoke, it was his birthday. And he looks like he had like this big, huge birthday party. I don't know if it's in his backyard. I think it might be. But it looks like a carnival and it's super cute, whatever. So he posted like 3 different like photo dump carousels on his feed. And they were with just like all these different people at his birthday party. The very first photo he posted in like the front of one of the carousels is him and Billie Eilish, which they actually look really cute together. I'm not going to lie. And this is just a random fact. I feel like most everyone knows this, but Billie Eilish is like freakishly obsessed with Justin Bieber, especially when she was younger. And a few years, I can't remember like where it was, if it was like on a talk show or something, but she talked about, no, I think she like went to one of his concerts and came backstage, but she talked about her first time meeting him and how she literally was like dying and like so shy, and like it's just funny. So it looks like they're friends now. But he posted pictures with like Billie Eilish and some of his friends. It looks like he like put on a cute little concert as birthday. There's like a big rainbow over the stage and mushrooms. Very cute, but it just looks like they're having fun. They're performing. He tags all these different friends. And within these 3 carousels, the main and like we could be reading into this too much, but the main photo on every carousel is just him and someone else or him by himself. And then as you're swiping through all 3 of these carousels, there's only like 2 pictures of Haley, and they're really weird. Like one of them, he's talking to someone in the background, like looking at a phone, and she's just kind of walking past, like looking out. And then the other picture she's in, she's like has her arms out and she's like about to like hug him, and he's looking off kind of like honestly disgusted, which I truly don't think was, I was just showing the camera. I truly don't think that was on purpose. He must have just like been like coughing or like clearing his throat or something in the picture. I don't know. But so of course fans were like speculating like he's over her. He looks bored of her. Like he hardly posted any pictures of her. He didn't post like any of the main photos with her. Just, you know, the believers and the Jeliners and the Jelena. What are they called? Jelena stands. Yeah. Anyway, so of course everyone was like reading into it, and I kept seeing like videos of people being like, is Justin gonna say something? Like he needs to defend Haley. Like I'm sure she's like dying right now, like saying like, please say something. And I was kind of like, no, I think it would be weird if he said something, because then he's like feeding into the fact that like it's potentially true. You know what I mean? And like, I don't think all of it is super, like it's not as intense as it seems. I definitely think like it's just inevitable that like current girlfriend and ex-girlfriend, or like new wife and girlfriend right before the wife, especially with like how it ended and started with both of the relationships, I definitely think they're not going to be like close. Like I'm sure there's like a little bit of like animosity and like beef, you know what I mean? Like it's not like fairies and rainbows. And Haley has said stuff when all of that came out. There was like screenshots of her talking with, it was like one of Justin's bandmates or something at the time. And it was showing her like DMing him, and she was like, but something like, but is he always going to want to be with Selena? Or like, if he wants to be with Selena, I don't want to, like, you know, it's like she's like talking to, it's when you have like a crush on someone and you're talking to their best friend, like trying to get like the tea. And she was kind of like talking as if like, I don't want to do this if he's still not over Selena. This was obviously before they were married. So obviously it's like been a thing. Of course it's a thing. It's like his ex-girlfriend was Selena Gomez. You know, she's like a superstar. I feel like it would be weird if she wasn't like, it wasn't in the back of her mind, at least at first. You know what I mean? But anyways, so that was just like the talk on the internet was like, Justin needs to say something. He needs to like defend her, blah, blah, blah. It's his wife. Like I would kill my husband if he didn't say something, whatever. But anyways, I just thought it was funny because I got on Instagram this morning and which is what's today? March 14th. And he has 4 new posts all within like right within the same hour or something that he posted them. Like carousels. The first one is him and Haley like cuddling on a boat, like in their swimsuits. And he's smiling really big. And her butt cheek is like right in the front of the photo. Slight, like go off, you know? But his caption says, "Love you, baby." And then there's a picture of them at the Vanity Fair, like after party. He said, "Me and my date." And he's like holding a drink and she's kissing him. And he looks content. He looks peaceful. He looks safe. You know what I mean? And then she's like smiling, kissing him. He's also like wearing a blanket on his shoulders and like a big necklace. It's kind of like interesting. And then his most recent post is him like grabbing Haley's chin, pulling her in to kiss him. And she like has her hand on his chest. So like complete 180, right? But honestly, like I think this is sweet of Justin. I mean, I don't know. Who knows if Haley was like begging him to say something. I mean, I'm sure she was like wanting his support or whatever in the situation. I'm sure it's just weird too. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, you guys remember, was it at where was it? There was like a red carpet a few years ago where Haley and Justin were walking the red carpet and people were like screaming Jolena, like over and over and over as they were walking, which like, I just feel like you guys, like that's fine if you like loved them together, but he's married now. And like, no matter what, he's married now. So you need to like respect that. And like, that is rude. Even if Haley's a rude girl, like let's not spread that energy. You know what I mean? But these Jolena stans, they be fierce. But she like started crying, people thought, and like there was like lip readers that were like trying to like figure out what they were saying, and she was crying and he was like asking her if she was okay, but they acted like she just kind of like had something in her eye and he was kind of like checking. But anyways, who knows if that was true, but I feel for the girl, like that's kind of hard. So anyways, Justin, good husband. That's good, actually. I'm glad he didn't like say something exactly about it, but he kind of like said what he needed to say without actually saying anything, you know? Another pop culture moment, Lindsay Lohan and then announced that she's pregnant today, which is kind of cute. I honestly didn't even know she was married. So I don't know what that says about me. The last I heard, she had like some sort of like beach club in Mykonos or something. So, but she was in that Christmas movie on Netflix. It was like supposed to be her big kind of like return to acting. I tried watching it. Me and Matt thought it was super cheesy. I know Christmas movies are, but it just felt like even more than normal. Tell me if I should finish it. I know it's like March, but life's too short to not watch a Christmas movie when you feel like it. So tell me if I need to actually watch it, because the first 30 minutes or whatever were not it. But I'm like, I was happy to see her back, you guys. Like Lindsay Lohan, I feel like is so talented. She's so stunning and just like cute, like all around, like just cute, you know? And so I'm glad she's back and I'm glad she's like doing well. She's pregnant. It's exciting. I will say, like, I'm ready for her to return whenever she wants to. What was that? Oh, Freaky Friday. Obviously, Mean Girls is like, I think Mean Girls is probably my favorite movie of all time. I know it's like a little problematic now, but there's just so many funny parts, you know? So many funny parts. I actually just put up a neon sign in my front room in my house that says, "You're like really pretty." And it's just like a little Mean Girls nod, like, you know, you know. But, anyways, I just, oh my gosh, you guys, when she was in Freaky Friday and then she like was like singing in the band and like that was just like fire. It was fire. I don't know. I just remember being like, wow. And wasn't Chad Michael Murray her like love interest in that movie? Freaky Friday. Yes. 2003 cast. Yes. Wait, what did I just say? Did I say Chad Michael Murray? I hope I said that. That's what I meant. But yeah, her and Chad Michael Murray. And it was just so good. I love when Lindsay would sing. Like, I feel like a lot of her songs ended up being really good back then. But maybe I was also just like, I didn't know any better. But yeah, it's cute. It's also like really good to see a child star like from my era, like doing okay. You know, like I feel like hardly any of them are not only not thriving, but like not even okay. Like they're not okay. I think one of the most shocking ones to me, obviously we all know the like whole Britney thing is like crazy. Like I just hope she's okay. And the conspiracies are insane. Like it's like, how do you know what to even like believe? Some of it's so insane, but then some of it like seems like it could be legit. But the last thing we heard from Britney is she like, I think she deleted her Instagram and fans like called and like told police they needed to go check on like her, like do like a welfare check because they were worried that she like did something, or I don't know. Are people thinking that her husband's like gonna kill her? Like, I don't know what's happening. I think they were just worried about her well-being, and she got on and was like, you guys, like, this is too far. Like, please don't send people to my house to do a welfare check on me. So anyways, but if you've seen Britney's Instagram the last few years, you know she's not okay. But I think one of the saddest ones to me is Amanda Bynes, because she was like such a good actress and she was so talented and she was like actually funny. Like I feel like she had such a bright future, and it's so shocking to see her now because this is all I know about Amanda Bynes is she stopped acting in 2010 after, it was after Easy A. That was like her last real role. And she was like put into a conservatorship also at some point. It looks like she just got released from her conservatorship in 2022. But she's just started posting kind of like some crazy stuff. Not crazy, but she just like didn't seem well. You know what I mean? I think she showed up on Instagram a few years ago and was like, she had like a face tattoo, like a heart on her cheekbone and all these piercings. And I don't know, like the way she was talking wasn't well. And didn't she tweet something crazy? Yes, she did tweet. She's the one who was tweeting Drake saying crazy stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, Amanda Bynes' craziest tweets. Let's just look at this. It's just crazy to see her back then. And I feel the same way about Britney. Like to see a picture of them back then or hear like an interview and they're so normal and like not only normal, but like well-spoken and look healthy and stunning. And then see both of them now. Okay, I'm just going to read a couple of these because they're like really wild. She posted like this picture of her and she looks insane. Straight up, like she doesn't look well. She like has like crazy like smoky eyes, drawn on brown eyebrows. Her hair is like yellow, kissy face with like the like metallic pink foundation looking lips. And she tweeted this photo and said, "I was born with webbing in between my eyes. That was a birth defect that I had surgically removed!" Exclamation point. "My doctors are heroes who also correct kids who have a cleft lip. Something as traumatic as webbing between your eyes." Which, like, that's fine. Like, thanks for spreading awareness, Amanda. But the picture, you guys, I'm going to show the camera. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she tweeted to Drake in 2013. Trigger warning. "I want Drake to murder my vagina." Which was like out of nowhere. Following her May 23rd arrest for reckless endangerment, tampering with evidence, and criminal possession of marijuana, Bynes tweeted her innocence. "My lawyer is getting my case dropped!" Exclamation point. "There was no proof of sexual harassment or drugs. Instead of me asking for the cop to be arrested for sexual harassment, I want my case dropped as well." His punishment will be being the cop who sexually harassed someone who would never find him handsome enough to be my boyfriend. Just like completely stuff out of left field that like we haven't heard about. And it's like another one she tweeted, I only smoke tobacco. I don't drink or do drugs. I've never had a bong in my life, ! I need to get another. And then she tweeted one more after her arrest. She said, I need to get another nose job after seeing my mugshot. Just like out of the blue, crazy stuff, you guys. Anyways, this one was kind of interesting. She tweeted and said, I'm 27 and I don't like when press talks to my parents. My parents are almost 70 years old. We are no longer on speaking terms. I would rather them be homeless than live off of my money. So, I mean, it's just kind of wild. And also it's like, that's what it always comes back to, right? It's like, I feel like the stars in that like time, like back in the early 2000s, it's like their parents were like exploiting them to a certain extent, you know? It just like can't be good. Here's one more. She tweeted, I love the beautiful Kardashian sisters. I wish E picked better photographs of me. I feel pregnant when I'm fat. I'm working out constantly. So random. Anyways, you guys, it's just crazy to see her stuff. If you haven't seen it, you should look it up. But it looks like she's been like in psychiatric hold a few times in LA. She's also like claimed that her dad, trigger warning, sexually and physically and verbally abused her. She also said something about him putting a microchip in her brain, just like all sorts of stuff, you guys. I don't know, but I'm sure she's like had a lot of trauma. It's really sad. It's so crazy to see her now and then, you know. Anyways, happier news. Well, actually, this isn't happy, but it's happier than that. So just one last thing. The Oscars just happened on Sunday and they were really like sweet. Like, I feel like it was like the first time everyone's been like brought together and like felt like humanity was like, you know, like we're all on the same page for once in a long time. Just with like everything everywhere all at once winning and all of that. With what's his name? Oh my gosh, you guys. The dude, hold on. Okay. With Brendan Fraser winning Best Actor, it just seemed like everyone was like, everyone was feeling good. You know, it was a good night. But I think just back to Austin Butler, since so many of you love him as well, I was like happy to see that he's like your celebrity crush. Also, there's this like kind of awkward video. I don't know if you guys saw it. I'll post it on my stories today as you're listening to this, but I'll post a link or something. He was spotted outside of the Oscars after party. He was standing with Sharon Stone, like talking to her, which like side note, he just seems so respectful. And it just seems like women of every age are obsessed with him because every time I've seen him like talking to an older woman or just, you know, when he was on promoting Elvis with like, Priscilla, and like he's just so sweet with them, holding their hand, making sure they like get down the stairs right. Like the video of him, you can see him outside the party and he's talking to Sharon Stone and he's like just looking so like sweet and interested and like puts his hand on like the small of her back and like walks with her to her. There, it looks like they're both waiting for like a car to pick them up or something. But while he's doing this, while he's outside this party talking to Sharon Stone, Vanessa Hudgens just like comes from the side and like is on her phone right next to him. And he doesn't even look at her. He just keeps talking to Sharon Stone and then like walks. And then fans are yelling, Austin, Austin. And you can tell Sharon like tells him like, everyone's cheering for you. And he looks over and like waves. And all of that is happening as Vanessa's there. And then he just walks off. And I think the most awkward thing about it is like that they didn't acknowledge each other. Because it's almost like they dated for 8 years. Like they were together for so long. And it seemed like they were on good terms. I mean, Vanessa just got engaged to, I think, a professional baseball player. He's super cute. If you look at her Instagram, but he's not as cute as Austin. And she had like done an interview years ago when it got announced that Austin was playing Elvis, I believe. And it's a really cute interview where she like talks about how they were driving. They were like on a road trip once and he was just singing Elvis. Like it was just on the radio or whatever. And she was like shocked by how much he sounded like him. And she like turned to him and was like, you sound just like Elvis. Like you need to play him. We need to like figure this out and make it happen because like you sound just like him. So we had heard that interview and it was just sweet. It's like she is clearly happy for him. And supposedly like I think that they broke up like as he was filming Elvis or like right at the beginning, because I believe they were filming it right like during COVID or something, and they filmed it in Australia. And so I think he ended up being in Australia for like over like a year or two filming this movie. And so I think they eventually broke up because that would be hard. I don't know. Also probably just like never knowing when you're going to see each other. But yeah. And then the interesting thing about it is Austin did an interview when he was promoting Elvis, and he was talking about, he's like, yeah, I had a friend back in the day, like tell me that I needed to play Elvis, that I like sounded like him. And like, it made me like, you know, realize that like maybe I could do this. And it was just interesting because people were putting 2 and 2 together being like, Vanessa's the one who said that. Like, why did he just say like a friend? Like, and then I think it got brought up to him later and he confirmed that, yeah, it was Vanessa who said it. But I don't know, something happened and they're clearly not on speaking terms, because I feel like it wouldn't have been that hard to be like, even if you're just seeing her walk past him, just to be like, hey, like wave, because like he's clearly talking to someone else. But it was like nothing. It was like ignoring each other. So I thought that was interesting, you guys. Also, just speaking of the Oscars, going back to the Oscars, Everything Everywhere All at Once won so many awards. I think it said they won 7 awards. And I saw the coolest post that my friend Kinsey shared on Instagram today. She's a business coach, if you don't know. And honestly, like you should follow her. It's so refreshing. I'm so lucky that she's my best friend, because she's always like bringing me back down, being like, reminding me that like I'm in charge. Like I can do what I want. There's no rules. She's the best, but she's so good and like just so abundant. So definitely follow her. But she shared this post that someone else posted, the Copy Creative, on Instagram. I'll just read a few of my like favorite slides, but if you look up the Copy Creative on Instagram, you can read through all of the slides because they're really good. If you sell a product, if you're a service-based business, if you're an influencer, like I think that this is really important. So the first slide that I love, this can be like our little mini business segment, but you should listen even if you don't have a business. Okay, so the first slide that I really love is be wildly original. Hot dog fingers, talking rocks, and everything bagels. Nothing about this film felt like a repeat of what we've seen before. Your audience is tired of watching the same movie, of reading, watching, and liking the same content. I just think this is like the number one reason that my business has been as successful as it is. It's just, we want something new. We're tired of seeing the same thing over and over. And it's just refreshing and exciting. And yeah. So I always tell people like the secret sauce to your business, it's not you trying to look at what someone else is doing and do what they're doing. It's you. So put on your blinders. And if that means that like not looking at other people's accounts or blocking them so you aren't tempted to go look at their stuff, do it. Like do what's best for you to stay in your creativity and to stay in your magic, because that's what's going to make you and your business stand out. The other one I really loved was be unpredictable. In order to leap through the timelines, each character had to find and make the most unpredictable decision. This kept us viewers on our toes, both laughing and crying every time. Keep your audience on the edge of their seats by always moving, adapting, and surprising them. So same thing. I just think I hear people talking about like giving business advice saying, give your customer what they want, like ask them what they want and provide them a solution. And I think that's true to an extent, but I also think that, so this reminds me of a story that in the beginning of Lala. So when I started Lala, it was kind of like the age of Facebook groups. It was like towards the dying end of Facebook groups, but I had a little Facebook group and there was maybe 150 people, 200 people in it. And sometimes I would post in there some like boutique items that I was thinking about getting. And I would like post a picture and be like, what do we think? Should we bring this to the shop kind of thing? And I remember specifically one time there was this dress and I wasn't super obsessed with it, but it was kind of cute. And I remember I posted that in the group and it was the most feedback I had ever gotten. And by that, I mean like there was like 10 people being like, yes, get this. I love it. I need it, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up ordering it. And you have to remember, like back in the beginning of Lala, I was running purely on a credit card. Like I did not have cash flow. So I had to be really strategic about what I bought. And I had to make sure that I could sell it so that I could make that money and then reinvest it to get more inventory, right? So I ended up getting this dress. And when it came, I went and I posted in the group and I said, okay, the dress is here. And I tagged the people that wanted it, and like it was crickets, you guys. Like no one bought it. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, like how am I going to sell this dress? And like, why did they tell me they wanted it? But I think that's exactly what this is saying is I think people following you is them telling, like people following Lala is them telling me that they want clothing. They want fun clothing. They want something different and new. But it's up to me to keep them on their toes and to be ever evolving and creating things that are going to shock them to the point where they see it and they immediately are like, oh my gosh, I need that. I love a good like Instagram ad, especially if it's so tuned in where something pops up and it's just an immediate yes. I love seeing something that I didn't even know existed. I didn't even know I needed, but as soon as you see it, it's like, I need this or I'm going to die. So I think that's like really important. It's like keep people on their toes and surprise them. And sometimes you have to show the customer what they want or need because they might think they know, but then you might create something even more magical. And I just think, yeah, keep it exciting, you know? Okay, last one I wanted to talk about was never underestimate the power of word of mouth marketing. Surveys showed that 46% of the film's viewers bought tickets because they heard it was good. The goal isn't to get as many new customers as possible on your own. Nurture your current customer base into a fan base, a community. From there, they'll do half the marketing for you. I think this is just like fire because we're just in the age where it's like, should I be running Facebook ads? Should I be working with influencers? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? And I think we overlook the customers that are already here, that are already ready to buy and excited about your brand. We're overlooking them trying to get more people. And I always say this to people when they're starting. They're like, I only have 100 followers on my business account. Like, how can I grow? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, stop looking outside trying to get more. That's 100 people who could potentially buy your product. And that is powerful. Like truly, I've seen businesses and met business owners where they might have like less than 10,000 followers, less than 5,000 followers, and they're doing like easy high 6-figure years. And I think that just goes to show of like cultivating that community you have and like putting your energy into them. Half of those people, like half of your marketing is going to come back from those people. Don't underestimate the power of word of mouth marketing. This just also goes back to like the whole movie situation. I like to think of it because I think sometimes we feel like selling is gross or we feel awkward or whatever. But I think if you think about selling your product the way you think about telling someone about a movie that you love, like when you see a movie you love and you want everyone to see it, you're like, have you seen this movie? You need to see it. It's so good. Blah, 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 blah. Like, promise me you'll see it. Like, that's us doing marketing for them. And I think if we think of selling our product, like sharing a movie that we love, it's so much easier. And you can do that by simply selling something you're obsessed with. It's so much easier to sell something you love because you're truly like, listen, this is so good. The sleeves are like this top I'm wearing, right? I'm wearing this matching Lala set. The sleeves, they have wide bell sleeves and a custom printed pattern, and the top is like perfectly oversized, but it lays in a really flattering way, and the pants are fully lined all the way down, and it has pockets. Like everything about this set I'm wearing is magical, and truly, I probably should have ordered more, but I didn't. And so if you want it, you really need to make sure you're on the site, because I'm worried I don't have enough. That is so different from being like, hey, here's this new Lala original design, and it's super cute. You're going to feel really good wearing it. You're going to feel like a queen, and it drops tomorrow at 10. Like, there's such different energy, and I think it just goes back to being like genuine and authentic also. But yeah, all of that is good. This whole post is magical, so you should go look for it. Okay, I just wanted to end this episode by just going over, like finishing the segment we did last time, things people say are overrated that are not overrated. Once again, I feel like a lot of people try to say things are overrated to try to seem like cool or edgy or different. And when it comes down to it, if there's something that everyone loves, Taylor Swift, Diet Coke, whatever the crap, Stanley Cups, there's a reason why everyone's obsessed with it. And I think those things can like bring us together and connect us, as silly as it sounds. And anyway, so this is what I'm talking about here. So this first one is like super random maybe, but Liquid IV. How many people have you heard like doing ads for Liquid IV, or, they have affiliate codes? I feel like everyone has an affiliate code, but I don't. So Liquid IV, give me a code, because it has changed my life, and I'm not joking when I say that. So I first tried Liquid IV a few years ago, and it was so gross. It was like so salty and nasty. And if you don't know, I'm sure you do, but Liquid IV is supposed to like double or triple your hydration. It has like electrolytes and vitamins and all these things. So the first one, it's like the original flavor. It was so salty and nasty, and I was like, immediately, no, I cannot drink this. And then I was on a trip last year with like a business conference, and my friend had like a variety pack of new flavors they had come out with. And I just remember, like, I feel like whenever I stay at a hotel, I'm like so thirsty because I'm not at home being able to like fill up my cup and just leisurely drink my water or whatever. You have like one free water bottle, and then like if you finish it, like that's that. You know what I mean? Unless you like are prepared. So I remember we were like so parched, and we had headaches or something, and she was like, just try a Liquid IV. And she's like, I have this pina colada one. Like, I hate pina colada flavor everything. You should try it. And I was like, okay, well, I like pina colada, like everything for the most part, so I'll try it. But I was like super scared. So I tried it, and it was so good. Like, literally, I'm not joking. Not salty. So good. Like, I think it sounds kind of gross to like put like a pina colada flavored powder in water and drink it, but I'm telling you, this tastes like delicious juice, to the point where Ozzy, my son, he asks me for juice throughout the day, and when he says juice, he's referring to my Liquid IV. My 2-year-old is like obsessed with Liquid IV, and I'm not mad about it, because actually, since I started drinking it, the most shocking thing, at first I was just drinking it for hydration, but the most shocking thing that has come from it that I like obviously did not expect is I didn't realize how many like vitamins and things it had in it. When you look at the ingredients, there's so many vitamins, and I think my energy levels are like through the roof. I've noticed that my skin is so much more hydrated. I drink like 2 to 3 packets a day. It's kind of an addiction at this point, but my skin is much more hydrated and glowy, which like that's not my skin. Usually it's like dry and like crusty. And the number one most wild thing that has come from me drinking Liquid IV is my hair has grown so much. I have extensions, but my top layer, I talked about this in the beginning, like it's always like my hair is just always kind of broken off. Like once it gets to like my shoulders, it starts like breaking off. My bangs, like all of it has just always been bad. Dyeing it dark obviously has helped, but Liquid IV, you guys, my hair has grown so much. Like when I go to get my hair done, my hairdresser is like shocked. She's like, your hair has grown like 1.5 inches in the last 6 weeks. And like, it's just, that's all I've changed. I'm not joking. Like, I've never been a vitamin or supplement girly. I wish I was. Like, I wish I could do the athletic greens and the kombucha and I know kombucha is not a vitamin, but it's like healthy girl vibes. Like, I wish I could do all those things, but that's just not me, at least not right now. So I think just taking small steps and starting with liquid IV has made me feel like proud of myself. And then actually like leaning into this and the vitamins. So around this time last year, I remember just feeling so tired and sad. And you know, when you're like depressed and you're like sad for no reason, but also like everything at the same time. And like when someone asks you what's wrong, you're like, I don't know. Like, I just am. I was feeling that way last year about this time. And like I said, I think that's like a thing of like us being ready for winter to be over and just like needing the sun to come out. But that's seasonal depression, like straight up. So I had been so tired, no energy, like seriously, like 3:00 would hit and I'd be like yawning, like I'm so tired, like every day. And I know I felt annoying saying it every day to Matt. I'd be like, I'm so tired. And he's just like, yup, what's new? But it got to the point where everything just wore me out. I didn't want to get out of bed. I was tired. It's just like signature depression, right? And seasonal depression too. My little sister was staying with us. She was doing like a rotation for PA school up here. She normally lives like down south, but I one day just had a breakdown. I was crying and I didn't really know why, except for like I just felt kind of like sad and empty. And you know, if you've had depression, you know how it feels. But she was like, promise me you'll go to the doctor. Because when I had Ozzy, he's 2.5, but when I had him, I had really bad postpartum depression. And I did not expect to have it. I had never really felt like I had like depression. I've always had like anxiety, but anyways, I didn't expect to have it at all. So it was really like out of left field, but I had really bad postpartum depression. I felt like crippling overwhelm. And it was kind of the same thing. I would just cry. Like the littlest random things would overwhelm me, and you guys know. So I ended up going to the doctor after I had Ozzy, like a couple months, when he was like a couple months old, because at first I was like, maybe it's hormones, but then it didn't end up going away, or baby blues or whatever. And I ended up starting an SSRI, which honestly, you guys helped. I think SSRI, and then obviously like taking care of yourself, doing things for yourself, especially when you're a new mom, trying to sleep more. Those are all things that like really helped me. But so my sister was like, maybe it's just time to like switch it up. Like maybe you need to try something new or adjust your dose or something. And so I was like, okay. So I made an appointment with my doctor and I went in and I kind of just told him how I was feeling. And he was like, I'm happy to like, we can like totally try something new and see how it goes. But I also want to take your blood levels and like see if something's off, because a lot of the time depression can be like linked back when you like do someone's blood work to being low, especially in like vitamin D. And so we ended up doing blood work and he was like shocked when it came back. My vitamin D was like basically negative and my iron was also really low. And so he commanded that I start taking vitamin D3 and iron. And to be honest, I didn't start taking it until like last fall religiously. So it took me probably like 5 months to actually start taking it. But I will say, and also I take gummy vitamins. I'm such a little baby, but that's just like I said, like I think going 0 to 100, it's unrealistic and it's not gonna like last long term. So what I've learned like in my older years is like just little baby steps that you can commit to. And then I think like committing to yourself and like doing that thing over and over, it like builds your confidence in doing more. And so I started taking vitamin D3 gummies, vitamin C gummies, just so I didn't get sick, and iron gummies. And I'm not going to lie, they're delicious. And I know that they have so much sugar in them, but I think the benefits of the vitamins, like it's been major. So that's what I tell any of my friends when I hear that they're like feeling in a slump or kind of depressed. I'll like send them my gummy vitamins And I've actually had a couple of friends who have like put them on subscription now because it really does make a big difference. If I skip, especially like my D3 and iron for a few days, it catches up to me and I notice my energy levels are so much lower. So if you're being healthy feels overwhelming to you, I'll totally share links to mine because it's made a big difference. So right now, my secret to feeling good is liquid IV, pina colada flavor only, and gummy vitamins. Specifically, D3 is really important. And I feel so much better. I don't feel like I have seasonal depression this year. I feel like I'm kind of like more aware of how I'm feeling, and I kind of like can compare it to how I felt last year. But I also am on a new SSRI this year, and I'm taking vitamins, and I'm like moving my body more. So anyways, last thing that I just keep seeing, I kept seeing it pop up and I was like, this is so cringe, is the Heatless curls thing. So I kept seeing it and I was like, I don't even know if those curls are cute. They actually might be kind of creepy. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I just was like, whatever, like you do you, go off queen, but like, no thanks. But then I saw someone on TikTok post them and I was like, wait, those curls are fire. And she was using this different thing I hadn't seen anyone else post about. It was like a velvet rod. And I want to say it was like an inch, the size of like an 1.5 inch curling iron barrel. So a little bit bigger than some of the other ones I've seen. And so I ordered it. It was from Amazon. It's velvet. It came with 2 velvet scrunchies and then 2 like flat clip kind of things. And I tried it and I was shocked. It was a little uncomfortable to sleep with at first, but honestly, it actually wasn't as uncomfortable as I expected it to be. But like my hair right now, like when you see my hair curled lately, like it's the thing. And actually today I didn't even like brush through the curls. I just took it out, did my makeup and left because I was in a hurry. But if you're like really like, if you have time, you can kind of smooth them out or like blend it. But like, it's shocking how good it looks. My podcast like cover picture, that's what I did to my hair. It's like, I'm like shocked. Like I'm like on a mission. I'm like going around like preaching the good word of the gospel of the Heatless velvet curling rod from Amazon to like anyone I know because it saved me so much time. So you have to use this specific one though. I'm not joking because after it had been working and I liked it, I was like, oh, okay. So I was at Ulta and I saw that they had that Kitsch brand. It's like KITSCH or something. They had one there, but it was like satin. And I was like, honestly, that will probably be better to sleep on with your hair. It's like softer, like a silk pillowcase kind of thing. And so I bought that one. It didn't come with clips. It just came with the satin rod. It was a little smaller and then 2 satin scrunchies. And I woke up the next day and took it out and I looked like a freak. Like those curls were not cute. It was not the same. It was not good. I ended up like putting my hair in a ponytail. So I can share a link if you want to my Amazon magic heatless curl situation. It honestly, the first night I did it, it looked good. You're just kind of wrapping it around in like 3 to 4 different sections, starting up at the top, kind of like a French braid, but way easier. Don't let that overwhelm you. And then when you get to the end, you kind of like curl it up and then put the scrunchie on. And my hair is dry. I tried doing it with wet hair once and my hair did not dry. So my hair was dry when I did it and when I do it and it's perfect. It's so weird. So anyways, you guys, I think this is getting kind of long. So I think we'll probably end it here, but I'm so excited to talk to you every week. It's going to be so fun. I know I'm weird and I've said some wild things, but like that's our vibe. It's going to get wild. It's going to get weird. And it's going to be awesome. So happy humpity hump day. I hope you just do whatever you want today, even if that's like humping. I shouldn't have said that. Anyways, I hope you have a great day and I love you so much and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.